This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Luca Cameron, and don't look now, but the Leafs are one of the hottest teams in hockey. They've won 4 straight, and they're unbeaten in regulation in their last 10. And this unreal run of form has many in the country hoped what wouldn't happen, as they currently hold the first wildcard spot, with Buffalo right beside them. Now, during this stretch, a lot of people have wondered if this is real. But last night, they beat my Avalanche, who are as good as it gets in the NHL, but they're one of the worst teams in overtime, so I'm actually not surprised they lost in OT. I honestly think they're closer to the Leafs we saw at the beginning of the season than what we're seeing now. I just think the shooting percentage has probably improved a lot, and Austin Matthews is on like an all-time heater. So, not all-time heater, he's a really good goal scorer. And speaking of Austin Matthews, he's back to looking like that guy. Since the calendar hit 2026, he's been on fire. As in 6 games in January, he's got 7 goals and 3 assists. But take it back a couple games into December, and he's operating at a 1.75 points per game pace in his last 8, which is also kind of bad news as we gear up to the Olympics. But tonight won't be easy for Toronto. First off, second game of back-to-back from altitude in overtime. Traveling to Utah, who's also been pretty good lately. And like the Leafs, are also fighting for a wildcard spot. They're tied with the Kings on points for that last spot, but LA does have a game in hand. And Utah with also 3 wins in their last 4. I think they're gonna lose tonight, but that's just because I'm a hater and because they just beat my team. So let's keep the hate going. Leafs lose. And people in the Leafs region can watch tonight's game on TSN. Coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern.
Breaking news! Mike Tomlin has informed the Steelers that he is stepping away from coaching. This comes a day after the Steelers' season ended last night against the Texans. Tomlin coached the Steelers for 19 years, never having a losing season and winning the Super Bowl in his 2nd season. There are plenty of rumors about Tomlin going to TV, and according to Ian Rappaport, Tomlin will be a hot free agent in the TV market. That brings the number of head coaching vacancies up to 9, including 3 of 4 openings in the AFC North.
It's an all-Canadian matchup in the nation's capital tonight, as the Sens are taking on the Canucks in Ottawa. And for 2 teams that exceeded many people's expectations last year, it's been a night and day difference in 2026. Both sides come into tonight's game sitting last in their divisions, and without a point in their last 4. Now for Vancouver, this was to be expected when you deal Quinn Hughes. And if the goal of the season is to finish with the best odds at Gavin McKenna, then they're doing a pretty good job. But for Ottawa, this is as disappointing as it gets, as after finally getting into the playoffs, no one expected them to be in the bottom of the Atlantic. And this current slump is coming at the very worst time of the season, since seemingly everyone in the Atlantic ahead of them has caught fire. So if the Sens want to make anything of this season, they need to turn things around fast. And that could be tonight, because a home game against the league's last place team is as good of a matchup as you can ask for. If you're in the Sens region, you can watch tonight's game on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic. Time now for my favorite segment, and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And Manuel Neuer really did change goaltending forever. And now everyone wants to be a sweeper keeper. Until something like this happens. For a second, I thought the ball was going to hit the post after and maybe like bounce in off of the goalie sliding back, but just sneaks in. As soon as you finish watching this show, you need to go to BarDown's YouTube channel immediately, because the BarDown hockey team, which I'm a member of, made a massive trade, shipping out Jesse Pollock to the Kitchener Rangers for Islanders prospect and current Kitchener Ranger Luca Romano, and future considerations.
We've made a big trade today in exchange for Luca Romano and future considerations. We've acquired Jesse Pollock from BarDown Hockey. So I'd like to welcome Jesse to our club and thank him for being here today, and welcome to the Rangers. Put that on. You're a Ranger now.
Wow. Never thought I'd see the day, you know?
Neither did we.
You know, growing up on the pond in Winnipeg, you dream of this day. Finally getting your call to the show. You know, the BarDown team, they had some good pieces there. I just didn't really think that they had what it took to win. And this is my shot. I want a ring.
It's about time we traded him, honestly. We needed a talent upgrade, and to get an Islanders draft pick for the Gecko Stride is just a steal. And after that trade, we actually played the Kitchener Rangers in a game of 3-on-3. Yes, you heard that correctly. our beer league team played the Kitchener Rangers. It was fun playing against Jesse for once, and he had to stay on the ice the entire time, so I feel like we had a big time advantage eventually because he's got awful stamina, cherry picks, not a good teammate sometimes, you know.
In your life with a save like that.
To watch the full video, head to BarDown's YouTube page, or if you're watching this on Insta, click the link below. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Time to hit you with an anytime goal scorer pick on FanDuel. And not to victory lap too hard, but we're 1 for 1 in 2026. Thanks to Leon Draisaitl having a big night against the Nashville Predators. Now, as we pointed out last week, Leon scores more goals on a per-game basis against Nashville than any other opponent he's ever faced. And look at the numbers, by a significant margin. And of course, guess who he and the Oilers are playing tonight? That's right, it's the Preds. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. Once again, we're going with Draisaitl, who just owns the Predators. And you can get him at plus 140 on FanDuel. That's all for today. I'll see you right back here tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a great day.